Welcome into the 4th and 11 show, Tuesday, April 16th. We have some good birthdays on today, but I want to start off by just saying I don't have to talk bad about Philly this show. I don't have to talk bad about them. They got it done, and we'll get into that a little bit later. We'll get into a whole bunch of other stuff, a whole bunch of stuff in the NFL. Finally happens. We got spring games, we got MLB, we got the NHL playoffs, we got the NBA playoffs, we got a whole bunch of stuff that we got to go into. And only a little bit of time to go through it all. Well, I mean, it's just until I finish all talking about all the stuff as much as I want. But we get into the birthdays today. Happy birthday out to one of the legends in LA, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He turns, I forgot his age, but he's a 6-time champ. And, I mean, he is one of the greatest centers, big man, whatever you want to call him. I mean, there's no really rule on big mans nowadays. I mean, there was back then, but he's one of the best. He's the man. He's the greatest guy that's ever, been in the middle. I mean, Shaq would have a field day with me about saying about that, but, hey, plenty of great LA greats in the middle. You got Shaq, you got Will Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Kareem is at the top of those, at least in my book. Shaq is great on his own level. Will Chamberlain, KU guy, love him because he went to Kansas. But I mean, it's just the fact that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar just has a better all-around game, and who knows? Who knows? But happy birthday out to him. Next up is another NBA player, Luol Deng. He's not as, you would say, famous than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but I mean, he's more famous than the other guys on the list of birthdays today. But Luol Deng, he's a 2-time All-Star, playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves right now. He was overpaid a few years ago. But that's LA for you. They overpay players that they just think are going to be good, and then they fall freaking flat apart. I'm not talking about LeBron James. Well, I mean, it's just stupid. But the next guy, as we get into football, Bill Belichick turns 67 today. And that might be a question for Steven and I on the Wake and Bake Show with Steven and Jake on Friday to talk about that. That might be a topic, so stay tuned for that on Friday. He's turning 67. I mean, I know that's not really too old, but he's been coaching for a while. He's got so much accolades and all that, so many of them, but how many years does he have left in the tank? That's going to be a question. That's going to be a huge question in there. Bill Belichick, happy birthday out to you, 67. Still coaching this year. I mean, he hasn't retired. Wouldn't expect him to, because spring training, or not spring training, but, spring ball has started. I mean, a lot of camps opening up. Bill Belichick and the Patriots are one of them. I don't know. I don't like Bill Belichick. I mean, he's a great coach, but it's just the fact of I don't want to see the Patriots in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl ever again. Don't want to see it. So, as we get into this, first off, you can follow me on Twitter at Jacob Steiner to get your latest news on sports and all that. And also write me some questions I can do on the show that you want answered. Or if you don't want to answer it on the show, you can have it answered off the show. I mean, who doesn't want it on the show? But, I mean, if I get so many of them, it's just going to be no, I can't do them all in one show. But I'll try to get to a lot of them. Hit me up there at Jacob Steiner on Twitter. Spring football games for college started, over the weekend. A lot of spring games, a lot of blue versus white, a lot of red versus white, a lot of black versus white, a lot of colors. If you're colorblind, you already know that you don't like the spring games. You don't like sports in general because you're colorblind. You can't tell the difference between any team, but it don't matter, because I hope to dare God that colorblind people love sports as much as I do. But spring games, what to look forward to in the football world in college. I mean, I'm a Kansas fan. I'm looking forward to the most of all is Les Miles era in Kansas. I'm also looking forward to year 2 of Jimbo Fisher in Texas A&M. I'm also looking forward to seeing what happens with Nick Saban. I mean, he's still there, but Nick Saban, does he come out in revenge mode after Clemson just kicked ass? And they took names. They came in, and that squad was better than the other squad. And Alabama was a question mark coming into that game. And obviously, the Trevor Lawrence is going to be a great quarterback at Clemson. Tua is going to be a great quarterback at Alabama. Both guys are going to go at it most likely at the national championship again. We're going to have like round 4. And they're going to, fight each other till the last little minute. And we'll see what happens. It's going to be a fun, that's my championship predictor. Unless you want to say Jalen Hurts and the freaking Oklahoma Sooners are going to win against Alabama or Clemson, or you think Kelly Bryant from Clemson, who moved to Missouri, is going to beat those teams? No. They're just playing for spots in the NFL. They're not playing for championships. They're just playing to show that they can play in the NFL. They can get the money on the next stage. And who's got the next, or who's gotten to that next stage and who's gotten that money? The old Texas Tech quarterback Patrick Mahomes, MVP. And he was on, as I was watching NFL Live, he had a question directed towards him, and he answered it basically saying, there's stuff I need to work on. 50 touchdowns and almost like 2,000 yards passing, and you're going to work on stuff that you think that really, there's nothing that I don't think needs to be made, corrected, or anything about your game. Really don't think so. Patrick Mahomes, I doubted him from the start because he had those, practice games where he was throwing 11 interceptions. I was like, what? And I saw him in week 1, week 2, week 3, and I was like, that's not the Patrick Mahomes I saw during practice. But that's practice. We're not talking about practice. We're to Allen Iverson. But we're talking about real game effort, and he put up 50 touchdowns in a season, and that's something that I want to do. That's something that I thought I could do, but I didn't. And most people don't achieve that, just like I didn't. And it's okay. Because now you're witnessing the new sheriff in town, to Patrick Mahomes, and he says he's got stuff to work on. He's a true sophomore quarterback. I mean, he's not really a sophomore. He's more of a junior, because it's junior. I mean, he got drafted, spent 1 year under Alex Smith, and then played. So I mean, if he didn't play, he played one game, but this is that was his sophomore year. Now it's his junior year. Now he's going to be a senior. Now then he's going to be a veteran. Then he's going to be a captain, and it just moves along. And Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback, and I doubted him from the beginning. Chiefs fans, unless he craps the bed like Carson Wentz in his second sophomore year. Well, Carson Wentz, I'm sorry. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Carson Wentz did not crap the bed, first off. I don't want Philly fans after me again after I dogged their Philadelphia 76ers. And now I'm dogging Carson Wentz. I don't want them after me. I might have to dog it on the Phillies later. I'm not gonna make this a Philly show. I'm not gonna make it a Philly show. So bear with me. Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen and Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen, all those guys, they have to have a good sophomore year. They have to have their second season be good. They cannot just and I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson's also in that conversation. I forgot about him, but you cannot have that fall apart. And Patrick Mahomes, we're counting on you. Every player and every fan and every coach that does not want the freaking Patriots in the playoffs once again and winning that Super Bowl again. And those Patriot fans, all history will be made again. We don't want that crap to be heard all around again. We don't want these fans. We don't want Boston to have another championship. Then Patrick Mahomes, you better get your ass or your head out of your ass and you better win some ball games, because Baker Mayfield has a chance, but Baker Mayfield in his second season will not beat Tom Brady in his like 10th or not 10th, like 16th or 18th. I'm not counting, but I know that it's been a while, and Tom Brady's a veteran. He's not going to lose to Baker Mayfield. He's going to lose to Patrick Mahomes, who almost beat him in the first two meetings. Patrick Mahomes is 0-2. He's looking for revenge. It's revenge game. It's time to go back at it. It's time to work at it, and he's working at it right now. He's been watching his Texas Tech Red Raiders go to the national championship game and make a fool of themselves. Not really a fool of themselves. Their fans making a fool of themselves. The team, they didn't make a fool out of themselves. They went to overtime, but they lost the game. They didn't win it. This is not about basketball. This is not about it. It's about Patty Mahomes, the new sheriff in town, the new gunslinging, fast arm throwing, whatever you want to call him. But don't call him crap until he shows it. Don't call him that. Don't call him that. I will be the person that will tell you you can call him crap. So stay tuned for that, because maybe it will happen this season, or maybe it won't. But the new sheriff in town, is that what they're calling him? I don't care. Patty Mahomes, blazing guns in spring, and he's saying I gotta work on my footsteps to make beautiful passes again. And I ain't going for 50. I ain't going for 60. I ain't going for 70. I'm going for 100 touchdown passes. Nope. That's never going to ever happen in the NFL. But, I mean, hey, it's a goal that you can shoot for. Happy that he's got something that he can feel proud of. But Patrick Mahomes has a bright future in Kansas City. But you know who doesn't have a bright future in their franchise? Russell Wilson. Not getting the deal done in Seattle. So, where does that leave us? Is Russell Wilson's era done in Seattle? Is it done? I hope not, because I'm a Seattle fan, been for a while. I love Russell Wilson. I want to see him in a blue and green and whatever colors are also on their home jersey. And no, it's blue, green, gray. There's no white on it. I'm trying to think. I mean, the white might be like a little. I should know this. I really should. But I mean, seriously, it's time to get out there on the field and get a contract done, because Patty Mahomes is in the AFC. It's time to be the man in the NFC. And Russell Wilson, you gotta lead that team. This is your team. I love loyal players, and I want Russell Wilson to be a loyal person, and I want him to be able to play a long time in the rainy city of Seattle. I want him to be wearing the blue and green and gray, and I mean all the colors that are in Seattle: blue, green, white, gray, black, whatever you want to call it, all the colors of Seattle. I want him to wear those jerseys forever and ever and ever and ever. I want him to be franchise tag. Come on, Seattle. Not going to get a quarterback like Russell Wilson, who has no offensive line, and he can still scramble out of the pocket and move, dodge left and right, boom, bada bing, and score a touchdown. No one can do it better than Russell Wilson. He's played while injured. He's done this and done that. If he got a little bit more help, he might have been talking about a two-peat, three-peat for the Seattle Seahawks. But no, he did not really have that much help. Obviously, bad play call. I don't want to go through that. Memory again. We don't, as Seattle fans, we don't talk about the Marshawn Lynch no handoff. Malcolm Butler. We don't talk about that. I don't like that. I don't. Oh no, it's in my mind. Let's move on to better and prosperous grounds. So let's hope that Russell Wilson signs, because I don't want to see him in another jersey. Because fortunately, he looks good in blue. And there's plenty of teams that are blue, but he looks good in Seattle blue. And again, there's probably enough people that have Seattle blue, but I don't want to get into it. I don't want to have to think about Russell Wilson moving different team. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. His era is probably not going to be over. They're probably going to get a deal done. They're probably going to put a franchise tag on him. And what else? I mean, Russell Wilson wants to stay in Seattle. He wants to be the highest paid quarterback. Well, I think he'd be the highest paid quarterback. Probably not. But, I mean, will he get up there? Yeah. Will he stay in Seattle? Most likely, 98% will stay in Seattle. And, I mean, he's going to play for this season. But, I mean, the next season we'll see. And the next season, will be like, holy crap. If he doesn't stay in Seattle, then all fingers point back at me for Seattle fans like, you jinxed it. Because everything goes wrong for me. And I just don't want to get into it. Don't want to get into it. But as we move along from the NFL into the association in the NBA, Philly gets it done in Game 2 after the shit show they put out in Game 1 wasn't as bad as Detroit putting the game. I mean, who knows where Detroit was and Milwaukee? No one knows, but Philly gets it done in Game 2. Putting up quite a bit of points as well. And they beats me on how, I mean, the game, they just played so much better, played so much more smoother, played so much more together, and they didn't get booed. They didn't get booed, but Philly gets it done in Game 2. Back in Game 1, found out the news. I didn't bring it into the Monday show, but Amir Johnson was fined for texting during the game. And, hey, that was in Game 1. And I get that your players want your players to pay attention to the damn game. But if their daughter is sick, or someone in their damn family members is sick, let the man have his phone. Or let the man, give the phone to someone else. And if that guy taps him on the shoulder, hey, this, and this, and that, and whatever, happened. Then, let the man do that. I mean, he's playing for your team. He's getting paid. He knows that that's his job. He knows that he's got to get the ball in the basket. But the man is not playing, and he's on the bench, and the game's a blowout because this was Game 1. I mean, it wasn't really a blowout, but you know what I mean. It was going downhill, and it was going downhill pretty fast. But screw that, because we're talking about Amir Johnson, and Amir Johnson was texting. And if it was true that he was texting someone about his daughter being sick, then if I'm a GM or an owner, I'm perfectly fine with that, because I don't really care. I mean, if that's absolutely the truth, then yeah. Then perfectly fine by me. I don't have a problem with the guy texting. I mean, he's there to play basketball. And if his mind, everyone, I mean, to be honest, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, every person on that floor for the NBA probably has something on their mind. Ben Simmons is Khloe Kardashian or whoever he's dating, one of the Kardashians or the Jenners. Is he? Is she cheating on him? I mean, that's probably going through his mind. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's just like holy crap. I mean, Amir Johnson's text. It's almost just like what Mike Trout said in that commercial with the baseball players. Let the kids play. Let the kid text. I mean, let the kids do whatever the hell they want. I mean, it's so stupid and so what in the hell? Like, why do you care if he's texting a fucking stripper? Excuse me. But, I mean, it's true. Why do you care? I mean, if he's having a bad game or the coach calls him and he doesn't get up and he doesn't go to the thing, or, I mean, if this happens, if that happens, what? It don't freaking matter. I mean, if that happens, then yeah, fine him because he was on his phone. But if he goes for 18 points, I mean, Amir Johnson, we're trying to go at his level, 18 points, like 12 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block. We'll just go by that. We'll just put out those numbers. And he had 57% shooting. Then why the hell do you care? If he's texting someone, the man's hot. The man's on fire. You can't touch the man. And you're going to fine him because he just wants to know if his daughter's okay? Excuse me? Why? I mean, seriously. I mean, I text during the Wake and Bake show and no one finds me for that crap. I mean, when Steven's talking, I'm on my phone. And I still put out a good show. I'm still paying attention to the damn thing. No one gives a crap about what I do on the side of my show because, hey, look, it's my show. I mean, it's not Amir Johnson's team, but I mean, it's the fact that, hey, he's making you money because if he puts up points and he puts on a show, then people are going to come in and they're going to get paid in Philly because fans want to come see Amir Johnson. Not really. They want to come see Ben Simmons and they want to come see Joel Embiid and they want to come see Jimmy Butler and they want to come see all the other guys. But who gives a damn? Who gives a crap? I don't really know why it doesn't. I mean, it matters for me to continue to say about this. But Amir Johnson, I didn't really get the number on how much he was fined, but if it's a lot, then what in the world are you doing in Philly? First Brian Colangelo, now Amir Johnson. I mean, everything's just falling apart in Philadelphia. And if y'all went 0-2, everything would just be like, holy crap, like, what the hell's wrong with Philly? Like, my God. Well, what's wrong with the Golden State Warriors? They lost game 2. Like 135, 131, but it don't matter because the Golden State Warriors are probably going to win out the series anyway. I'm going to rant on about the Golden State Warriors saying that they're going to be all good and all that because, hey, at the end of the day, every time so far since I've said this on the show, on each show, every time I dog on a team, they win. I dogged on Texas Tech against Michigan State, and what did Texas Tech do? They won. I dogged on Virginia against Auburn. Virginia just moved on. I dogged on Virginia against Texas Tech, and Virginia won. And I mean, dogged on a lot of other MLB games. I said the Astros were going to lose a few games against Seattle. No, the Astros swept. Talked good about the Boston Red Sox, and what do? They flip over and they pull out just crap out of their ass, and they're like, I don't know what they're doing with this, and I don't know what. What? What in the world? The Warriors are gonna win. Whatever I say, just flip it around. Just flip it around. I'm calling it. In my voice and my judgment, I say it and I put it out there on the internet. People listen to it, and this crap happens. I predict that team to win and they lose. But I mean, it's probably not going to happen, even with it or not. With the Warriors, with Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, I mean, DeMarcus Cousins, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. I mean, who are the Clippers going to stop them with? Montrezl Harrell? They don't have Boban anymore. They don't have Tobias Harris anymore. Who are they going to stop them with? Patrick Beverly? Maybe. Patrick Beverly is a pretty good defender. He's a pretty good player. Don't get me wrong on that. They don't have DeAndre Jordan. They don't have Chris Paul. They don't have Blake Griffin. They don't have all the people that they need. That's why they're an 8 seed. But don't matter because the Warriors could have a different test in the second round, and I'm not going to... I'm going to go ahead and say this. The Rockets will win against the Jazz. They play well on Wednesday night. And they, went out like they did against the Jazz in Game 1. Hell yeah, the Rockets are going to win in 5 or 4. And they're going to take on the Warriors. The Rockets are red hot since the All-Star break. The Warriors have been pretty well taken care of. They've been holding their own. They have obviously won the first, the number 1 seed. But it don't matter because the Rockets have had the Warriors number all season. The Rockets have had injuries. There was no Chris Paul in one of those games against the Warriors. I think, maybe 2 of them. There was no James Harden in one of those as well. And yet the Rockets proved to the world that they belong. I'm pretty sure Clint Capella wasn't there as well. And the Rockets still won the game. The Rockets were even going through their struggles. They still won the game. And it's time for me to say that the Warriors' time of beating the Rockets almost every single year in the playoffs is about done. A lot of people have told me that, hey, the Rockets last year, that was their chance. If they didn't win against the Warriors, went into the NBA Finals, that was their chance. That was it. They're not going to make it again. I'm a firm believer that even though they're the 4 seed and they fell apart earlier in the season, this team is ready to take on the Warriors. They've had plenty of chances. This is a Warriors team that has been dismantled and dysfunction and tensions rising left and right, and who's going to go and who's going to stay and who's going to do whatever you want to say. And the Warriors, the bandwagon fans are still there. But this is a Warriors team that is dysfunctional and a Rockets team that's getting stronger. The core is getting stronger. Chris Paul and James Harden, second year together, they're learning more and more about each other and how they want to play. And Clint Capella's learning more and more every day. Eric Gordon still kicks ass every single day. It's still... The Warriors are a better-looking team on paper, but the Rockets are a better-looking team when it comes to the floor. And a better-looking team on the paper is not the same thing as on the floor. We all know that in pickup games. Get the tall white guy, and he can't dribble or he can't shoot the ball. I'm speaking true of myself sometimes. I have off nights, but people look at me and they're like, I want the tall man because he looks good right now, but once you get in the game, it's all over. Because he looks good on paper, but he doesn't look good on the court. That's what the Warriors look to me like. That's what the Warriors look like. And, hey, I don't care what goes on behind the scenes for the Warriors, but it's going to be a fun second round series to see who goes on the Western Conference Finals. And on the other side, anyone can go to the Western Conference Finals on the second side. You got Denver Nuggets, who struggled in the first game against the Spurs. They'll play on in tonight against the Nuggets, game 2 for that one. Also the Magic, Toronto, and OKC in Portland. But we're talking about the West here. OKC and Portland both One needs a win and one needs to win. And, I mean, both teams need to win, is what I'm trying to say, because Portland just, I mean, well, like, they got swept in the playoffs last year. I mean, they haven't looked good in the playoffs lately. So Portland needs to win. And, I mean, I'm pretty sure they can. This was the series that everyone said was going 7. I thought the Jazz Oklahoma City Thunder series last year was going to go 7. But look how that crapshoot turned out. I thought the Pelicans and the Portland Trailblazers series was going to go 7. Well, that never happened. But it's still out there in question. To me, it's only game 1. And that was pretty tightly tested. Paul George was hurt through most of the game. But it's time for game 2 in the Moda Center. And we'll see what happens. OKC and Portland game 2 on tonight. Magic versus Toronto. Magic trying to make it 2-0. Kyle Lowry trying not to just lay a dump like he did in the first game. And Kawhi Leonard hoping to get more minutes and hoping to play better and bring his team to victory. The Claw takes on the Magic. And we'll see if the Magic pulls the rabbit out of their hat. And we'll see what happens in game 2. That one's on tonight. Spurs and Nuggets. Talked about that a little bit, but the Spurs took game 1. The Nuggets trying to save a little bit of their home court advantage and win tonight. And they have to win one on the road to stay in the series. But the Spurs and Greg Popovich, we all know Greg Popovich, no matter what players he has on the floor, he finds a way to win, no matter if it's hacking or if it's something else. I mean, or if it's shooting threes, or if it's going to the post. Greg Popovich has a way to finish and win games. I mean, he's brought the Spurs to another playoff series, and we thought the Spurs were never going to make it this year. At least I thought it. But the Spurs fans were still hungry and looking like they were going to, pop at any moment for, like, holy crap, we made the playoffs. No one thought we could. Ha, in your face. But you're the 7th seed. I mean, you're a good 7th seed. You're not like the 7th seed on the other side in the Magic, or who are winning in their own respects, but you're a better team than the Magic. The Magic, first off, need to change their names. Like, holy, what the hell is the Magic? I get Disney World, I get all this, but you need to change your name. You need to get rid of that quickly. Get rid of it quickly. But those are your games to watch in the NBA. Well, not really games to watch, but all the games to watch in the association as we bring it into the NHL. Sharks and Knights. Steven is going to be watching that game and very closely and hoping that his Knights can pull up 3-1 on the Sharks at home. They played well in their last 2 games. Obviously, they've got the momentum right now, but the Sharks are looking like they could come up and tie the series. And just by me saying that, the Sharks are not going to win. But we move into the next game. The Lightning and Blue Jackets, the series that's already freaking over because the Blue Jackets came out and they are 3-0. But if the Lightning start now and they come out and they whoop butt and then they whip butt in the next game, this is a whole new series. We've seen the Blue Jackets choke before, but they never choked 3-0. Not a lot of teams have choked 3-0, but it's definitely possible, and the Lightning are a good enough team to do it. We'll see if they can put out their best lineup and score some goals that they haven't done in a while. The Blue Jackets, well, I want to make a quick comment about that team. First off, I've been watching some of their games, and I see a mascot. It's a blue jacket. Well, not really a blue jacket. It's a yellow jacket. But their team name is the Blue Jackets, representing the Blue Jackets in not the Civil War, but the American Revolution and Civil War. I mean, you get it. America, yeah. hell yeah. I mean, but that's NHL, NBA, MLB, whatever. I mean, the Astros haven't. I mean, Astros had a bunny. Well, the conductors had. That was their mascot, and that's my own team. I'm dogging on them. Blue Jackets, you got to get rid of it. Blue Jackets also trying to close out the series. They're up 3-0. Islanders and Penguins. Penguins trying to stay alive. Sidney Crosby trying to keep their hopes and dreams of winning the Stanley Cup. And, not having it tonight. They're looking like they have some hungry eyes. But the Penguins have not been playing well lately, and they're trying not to get swept. But the Islanders trying to finish the game out on the road 4-0. And the next game, the Jets and the Blues. The Jets trying to even out the series. The Blues trying to move 3-1 before they go back home, or back on the road, to the Jets. And they're trying to make this a hard series before that passport gets stamped and they're going off to Winnipeg. But it's going to be a fun night in the sports world. Also, the MLB is on, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And we're also almost a week away from the NFL draft and almost a week away from the Avengers. So, a lot going on in the media world. But as always, in the media world, there is the Wake and Bake Show with Steven and Jake, always on Friday. We got a great top 5. We got a whole bunch of topics. We got a whole bunch of things. And I will have my good friend Steven sitting next to me every single Friday morning. So start it off right here every single Friday morning. And join me Monday through Thursday for the 4th and 11 show. This is the 4th and 11 podcast, your home for all sports.